Just before 8:30 p.m. right now on Apple Valley News Now in prime time, the Navy has released the names of the 2 crew members whose fighter jet crashed in Yakima County, and Washington Governor Inslee approves the National Guard to help with the recovery. What does it take to search a remote area inaccessible by vehicles? The Yakima County Sheriff's Office breaks it down for you. There are reports of people in our region offering to collect ballots who don't quite seem legitimate. Is this even allowed? We talked to one of the auditors to find out. Plus, Franklin County fire departments are getting some brand new equipment thanks to a nationally recognized organization. The new tools that will help first responders and firefighters lift up the community. And Stacy's here.
And we had a rainy start to our day. We're clear now, still seeing some showers in the Cascade Mountains. I'll tell you about the changes coming up this week.
This is Apple Valley News Now, prime time on your side.
Good evening and thank you for joining us after the game. This is Apple Valley News Now in prime time, and I'm Austin Reed. Navy officials have identified the 2 aviators whose fighter jet crashed in Yakima County last week. Lieutenant Commander Lindsay Evans and Lieutenant Serena Weilman died after their EA-18G Growler fighter jet crashed October 15th east of Mount Rainier. Both pilots were 31 years old. Officials say the 2 had just returned from a Middle East deployment where they took part in strikes against Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen. Their commanding officer says they will be remembered for their heroic actions on their recent deployment as well as their incredible energy. Evans and Weilman were on a routine training mission near Mount Rainier last week when the aircraft crashed. Washington Senator Patty Murray releasing a statement today after the pilots were identified, saying in part, quote, "I am so proud of both of these women for their trailblazing careers. Their service has no doubt made a difference, clearing a path for the women who will come after them," end quote. You can read her full statement right now at applevalleynewsnow.com. The Yakima County Search and Rescue Team, which helped in that search, is made up of trained volunteers. Authorities say searching in remote or mountainous areas is especially difficult, with no trails, steep terrain, heavy brush, downed trees, and communications issues. Resources used include radios, vehicles, ATVs, dogs, and the volunteers themselves, and they are always looking for more help.
We do accept applications for search and rescue all year long until around November 1st, so that we can gather them all together, do some background checks, call people to see if they still want to be search and rescue members.
The Sheriff's Office holds a search and rescue academy every year from January to April. The Benton County Sheriff's Office says one woman is dead after a suspected DUI crash in Benton County. The driver, the woman's sister, accused of driving under the influence. The crash happened Sunday just after 6 p.m. on Wilgus Road near Prosser. Authorities say 19-year-old Tatum Simscone-Ohms was driving her vehicle when she lost control and rolled it. Her passenger, 22-year-old Nairi Simscone-Ohms, was thrown from the vehicle and died at the scene. Investigators say Tatum was also driving a car that had been reported stolen out of Yakima. Tatum was taken to the hospital for minor injuries, then to the Benton County Jail. She is facing a charge of vehicular homicide in her sister's death, among other charges. Well, authorities have arrested a 69-year-old Sunnyside man accused of child molestation and communication with minors for immoral purposes. According to court documents, Timothy Bardell admitted to police that he molested 4 young girls aging from infants to toddlers. Bardell was arrested Friday, and he is currently being held in the Yakima County Jail. Bardell has served as a leader in the Lower Valley Scout Troops for many years and has been involved with youth group activities. Now to the western area of Washington to Falls City, southeast of Seattle. Authorities say 5 people have been killed, 2 adults and 3 children. They were found inside their home. Authorities were called to the area around 5 a.m. this morning for reports of a shooting. 1 teen in the hospital, another teen arrested. Authorities say all 7 people lived in that house. We will have much more on this developing story tomorrow on Apple Valley News Now's Good Morning Northwest, starting at 5 a.m. Switching gears, the rain slowly faded away and gave way to a pretty nice afternoon. But the chill, it's likely to stick around for a bit. Apple Valley News Now's first alert forecaster Stacy Lee joining us live in the Weather Center to tell us more about it. Hey, Stacy.
Hey there. And yeah, the chill is going to be sticking around. In fact, there's a couple of nights this week that are going to be very, very cold. Most of the irrigation water has been shut off around the area. Time to blow out those sprinklers. Breezy winds starting to decrease tonight. Our sunset at 5:58. We're still seeing some gusty winds in the Kittitas Valley, Ellensburg, down the Columbia River Gorge, and in the Columbia Basin, Tri-Cities. Winds will slightly die down tonight, but pick right back up tomorrow morning. We'll see better wind relief tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures around the area were already dropping into the 40s. Foothills of the Blues still sitting in the upper 50s in Tri-Cities, low 50s and upper 40s for the Yakima and Kittitas Valley. Check out these overnight lows tonight. We're in the freezing zone here tonight. Ellensburg, Yakima, a little bit warmer as you get down into the Columbia Basin. Showers drying up tonight, clear and cool tomorrow. Breezes will start to die down later tomorrow afternoon. Mainly dry weather all week, and then we're tracking our next storm system. That's coming up next weekend, and some chilly nights this week. I'll tell you when those are going to happen coming up. Austin?
All right, Stacy, thank you. Now to a follow-up on a bird flu outbreak in Franklin County. The Washington Department of Health confirms 4 farm workers have presumptive positive tests for bird flu. They are the first human cases of bird flu in the state of Washington. Health officials say the workers are experiencing mild symptoms and were given medication to help fight the virus. More testing of more workers is underway. Officials say the number of humans infected could rise based on the results. To learn more, go to our website, applevalleynewsnow.com. Turning to politics, some local voters filing complaints over people collecting ballots who aren't elections officials. Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell spoke to elections officials who say voters' main concern is where those ballots are ending up.
I sat down with Yakima County Auditor Charles Ross to talk to him about the complaints he's received so far and what you can and cannot do with a ballot under Washington state law.
We've had people calling in just saying, hey, there's people out there that are pretending to be Republicans gathering ballots or pretending to be Democrats gathering Republican ballots or vice versa and throwing them away.
The auditor's office investigating each complaint.
We've yet to find anything that we see as illegal at this point. But if a person gathers up other people's ballots and gets rid of them, I think they would be looking at having some serious trouble. We've talked to the prosecutor about people mishandling other people's ballots, and we're watching very carefully.
Ross says voters also concerned over people going door to door, collecting ballots and trying to convince people how to vote.
It's not illegal. Campaigns do it often when they're out door knocking. They'll offer to take a person's ballot to the drop box.
What they can't do is pretend to be an elections official, fill out the person's ballot themselves, or attempt to coerce or bribe someone into voting a certain way.
It is not allowable to offer gift or exchange or any kind of tangible prize for handing over your ballot or guaranteeing a vote. That is illegal.
Ross says they've also received complaints about voting parties, where people are invited to come fill out their ballot at a political gathering and leave it with event organizers to turn in.
It's not illegal to do that, but we're getting some concerns and complaints about. They see these stations and there's a lot of political signage around them, and people wonder, what is that? And that is not an official drop site.
The auditor's office says they recommend turning in your ballot yourself, either in the mail or an official ballot box.
If you hand it to someone else that you don't know or that is just out there working a campaign, you're taking a serious risk that your ballot may not ever make it to my office.
Any voter Homeowners with complaints or concerns can contact the Yakima County Auditor's Office directly. We'll have information about how to do that on our website, applevalleyNewsNow.com. Reporting from the Yakima Newsroom, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
Emily, thank you for that On Your Side report. Well, we've got an update on the ongoing renovation plans on the Martin Luther King Jr. Center in Pasco. Officials with the center say as of right now, they are in the middle of working out the communication stages. The first follow-up meeting with the city of Pasco is on Friday at 11:30 a.m. At that meeting, officials will start strategizing how to move forward. Strategizing, I should say, how to move forward, since the project started more than 2 years ago and they have yet to break ground.
I don't want to dance around the questions. I want to be very specific, very transparent, going and coming from the other side. What can we do in working together to start the renovation? I am exhausted with the reasons why we can't start.
Officials say the upcoming meeting will not be open to the public, and moving forward, they will meet with the city once a month. Officials say they will post all updates after the meeting. Hanford Student Media brought 6 student Falcons, the Student Falcons, to All-American High School Film Festival in New York over the weekend. There, the group was nominated in the Teen Indie Awards for Best Micro Movie and the Best Sports Feature category. Along with those nominations, HHS broadcast teacher Cheyenne Laviolette received the All-American High School Film Festival 2024 Teacher of the Year Award. The group of students got to see their film on the big screen at the AMC 25 Empire, walk Central Park, the Brooklyn Bridge, and even do their daily student broadcast from NYC, where the students did interviews from Times Square. The group left Thursday, and they are getting home this evening. Big congrats to the students and Cheyenne. Your news in prime time is just getting started. Still ahead, he has spent nearly 4 decades as a member of the fire department. Now, Pasco Fire's Ben Shear recognized with a statewide honor. And don't put those coats away just yet. You will be feeling the chills. Stacy's up next with your full First Alert weather forecast. Don't go anywhere.
18 years, 32 years, 20 years.
35 years.
A job not only supports a family, but it gives you dignity. I'm Maria Beltran. With warehouses closing and hundreds of jobs lost, it's time we elect a fighter. Like so many of us, my family struggles to keep up with the cost of groceries and afford rent. Your family's struggles are my family's struggles. I'll work hard for you in Olympia.
Paid for by friends Maria Beltran.
At Spectrum, we believe every day unlocks a new door to unlimited possibilities. Possibilities to bring you closer to the people and the places you love. Spectrum transforms your gaming experience into a galaxy of adventures with the fastest and most reliable internet. Connect to unlimited possibilities when you switch to Spectrum Internet Premier for only $30 per month when bundled, and save with our 3-year price guarantee and no contracts. Call 1-844-653-6824. With the fastest, most reliable internet, you're always front row to the entertainment you love, no matter where you are. And with advanced Wi-Fi to keep you safe and secure online, you can focus on what matters the most. Spectrum Internet doesn't just power your home. It puts streaming, live TV, sports, and popular apps all at your fingertips. Get incredible savings when you switch to Spectrum Internet Premier for just $30 a month with a 3-year price guarantee. That's our promise to you. Call 1-844-653-6824.
It's painfully obvious prices have been going up. Inflation is crushing American families, and inflation only has one cause.
Inflation in the United States is made in Washington and nowhere else. The real tax on the American people is what government spends.
And Dan Newhouse has voted for trillions of dollars in spending. As your congressman, I will vote against massive spending bills. Because Americans can't afford a new house. I'm Jared Sussler, and I approve this message.
If you've been considering updating your kitchen or bath countertops, be sure to attend the Costless Carpet Annual Slab Sale. This Saturday, Costless Carpet designers and fabricators will be on site. Every in-stock slab is on sale, with select slabs marked down up to 50%. Choose from a huge selection of quartz, marble, and granite slabs. Fabricators will only be on site this Saturday from 9 to 5. So rein in your plans and drawings for instant savings. Find your nearest costless carpet at costlesscarpet.com.
Apples are the pride of Washington's agricultural economy. When India put on the retaliatory tariff, we were basically dead in the market. Thanks to Maria Cantwell stepping in and getting that tariff removed, we're up to 2 million boxes and we're climbing steadily. It's a huge difference for the industry. Maria Cantwell is effective because she works with both parties to get things done for our industry.
I'm Maria Cantwell, and I approve this message because I'll keep taking on powerful interests to get things done.
Fall colors. Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
Back now with a story that's making a difference. A local firefighter who has dedicated nearly 4 decades to serving our communities is receiving an honor, a statewide one. But as Apple Valley News Now's Monique Ledesma finds out, getting him to open up is about as easy as running into a burning building.
Wasn't something I really saw myself doing for life.
Ben Shear is a firefighter who's been part of the Pasco Fire Department for 37 years. It's about 3 decades longer than he thought he'd be suiting up for the job. But Shear says the spark to be a part of the fire department started as a slow burn, only to grow with intensity.
So it wasn't until we got on a few calls, made a difference in those people's, the rest of their life from that point on, and able to help the community out. And that's when I decided it was a great career.
The desire to help others and be helpful to his community, keeping him going.
Being able to help the community out, being a resource to the community whenever possible to help mitigate the effects from that emergency and keep on going has been what's been fun for me for the last 35 years.
Throughout his career, he received Firefighter of the Year and an award for the Washington State Fire Marshal's Office. Now, Shear has been awarded the Washington Fire Educator Lifetime Achievement Award by the Washington State Public Fire Educators.
It's been over 12 years that I've worked with their group, bringing education to firefighters across the state to help educate the community, public information roles that we've done across the community. So that was last week when they presented me with that. And as much as it was a Lifetime Achievement Award for me, it was really an award to all those people that around me that have helped that as well too.
Shear says in his personal life he's an introvert, but because of his job, when he puts on his uniform, he's in the zone.
Sometimes you have to go outside yourself and be a little bit different. So learned I can actually get out there, interact with people, have a fun time, and engage and interact with the public in a way that I wasn't really capable of before.
One of his favorite things to do, working with the littlest of hands to make the biggest difference.
Some of the school programs that we worked with here in Pasco, getting out there and working with the schools and the kids to evaluate the programs we were doing to make sure we were getting good education.
Always ready to teach, Shear has even taught me and other reporters a thing or two throughout his career.
And you're going to keep going until help arrives.
And why is it important for people to follow the beat?
So again, if the heart's going too fast, if you go too fast or if you go too slow, it's not giving the heart a chance to refill with new blood, and so it's not getting new blood out to the body.
Reporting in Pasco, Monique Ledesma, Apple Valley News Now.
Makes me want to cry. Ben is a great friend to the media, and he also says although he isn't doing the public education programs in the PFD, he still plans on being engaged with the community and will still help respond to state wildland fires. His official retirement date has not yet been set. Well, the weather is cooler, the leaves are falling this time of year, and it's also time to release the Kraken. Later this week, Seattle takes on the Winnipeg Jets, who are undefeated so far this year. The men in Seattle have only won 2 games out of the 9 played against Winnipeg. This year, it is still early in the season. Seattle is currently on a 2-game win streak with the Kraken's last win against the Jets back in March. Apple Valley News Now is your home to the Seattle Kraken. You can catch all the games right here all season long. The matchup will air on ABC Thursday. The action starts at 6:30. Puck drops at 7. You can find where to watch as well at applevalleynewsnow.com. Extreme weekend rainfall prompting hundreds of water rescues in New Mexico and killing at least 2 people, leaving dozens more hospitalized. Laura Aguirre shows us one of those rescues was a first responder rushing in to help others and put his own life on the line.
I am sitting on the roof of my cop car, my police truck, I am completely surrounded by water.
Chaves County, New Mexico Sheriff Mike Harrington found himself in need of rescue as torrential floodwaters swamped his cruiser over the weekend.
Those people here on the west side of Roswell, a lot of their houses are flooded and their cars are flooded.
The Roswell area hit particularly hard after a historical amount of rain fell in just a few hours, washing over roads and through neighborhoods, prompting hundreds of water rescues and sending dozens of people to nearby hospitals.
I am sitting on top of my vehicle, and a couple people who were walking through the water came and sat here with me.
Sheriff Harrington and his fellow stranded motorists were among those safely pulled from vehicles or buildings amid raging floodwaters. Flood watches and warnings persisted throughout the region until early Monday morning, and in the daylight hours since, the water has started to recede, revealing the full scope of the damage. Vehicles swept away, now piled up along roadsides or under bridges. A number of homes and businesses flooded out. As Roswell begins the recovery process, it does so having set a new record. The National Weather Service says Saturday's rainfall hit 5.78 inches, just edging out the previous high mark set in November of 1901. I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Yeah, that kind of thing doesn't happen there all the time. Well, the White House is launching a new community liaisons program in North Carolina to help with Hurricane Helene recovery. Those hired for the program will be intermediaries between residents and FEMA to make sure resident needs are met. The administration also announced it has approved more than $300 million in assistance all across the state.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Stacy Lee.
And to put that number into perspective, almost 6 inches of rain. We get typically 8 to 8.5 inches in an entire year in our area. So that's a lot of rain all in one day. Dust Level Sky Cam tonight. We've got clear skies, 58 degrees. Nice lights in Pasco. Traffic moving along nicely. Our winds are decreasing. Still a little breezy out there. And our sunset now takes place before 6 p.m. Here's the weather pattern. You got that jet pointing straight at us. That was that system earlier today. Still a little bit of rain left in the Cascades. That eventually will start to dry up, but we're going to see clear skies in our area. Here's Futurecast tonight at 8 o'clock. You see mainly just clouds around the region. The showers in the mountains drying up. We stay pretty dry tomorrow. However, there is going to be some stray showers coming mainly east of Walla Walla, Blue Mountains, and most of that system staying way to the east. However, we could see a few sprinkles in Heppner to Pendleton, but Tri-City, Sunnyside, Yakima, Ellensburg, we're going to stay pretty dry here, at least through Wednesday, Thursday, and probably Friday. But there's a very slight chance of rain on those days. Current wind speeds right now are okay. They're getting milder, but the wind gusts are a different story. We have winds gusting 20 and 21 miles an hour in the Columbia Basin, 26 down the gorge at the Dalles, and it's still pretty breezy there in Ellensburg tonight. Let's talk about those winds and when they're going to die down. That will be not until after tonight. Look at this. We still see those gusty winds through the evening according to this model. Tomorrow morning, breezy Tri-Cities, Dayton. You'll also see some winds in Yakima. As the day progresses, the winds will decrease here in the Columbia Basin and stay a little bit breezy in the Yakima and Kittitas Valley. Fast forward to Wednesday, we'll see those breezy winds picking up once again through the area. So overall, winds will die down. Pretty quiet actually for tomorrow. Temperatures tonight around the region on the chilly side. Everybody down in the 30s. Freezing zone from Sunnyside into Yakima and Ellensburg. A little bit warmer above the freezing zone as you head to the east to Tri-Cities and the foothills of the Blues. Pendleton, though, 33. Here's our temperature dip. We're going to be below the average for the most of the week, and then we'll have a nice little pop up to about our average for the weekend, but that's when our next system will start moving through the area. Look for sunshine, clear conditions, and pretty cool temperatures in the 50s and 60s. Here's those really cool morning temperatures tomorrow out the door. You'll start hitting the 40s by about 10, so early morning going to be very chilly. Grab your coat. 50s in the Tri-Cities by about 10 o'clock, and in Walla Walla we'll hit 50 degrees at 10 a.m. So a chilly morning. Let's take a look at our 7-day planner. Look at these chilly nights well below the freezing zone there. We want to definitely start thinking about blowing out those sprinklers. There's the showers headed our way next weekend. That's the most substantial storm we're following. Chilly nights in the Tri-Cities as well. Look at that. We're down at the freezing zone Wednesday and Thursday. So it's, again, time to start winterizing all of your boats and your your RVs and getting those sprinklers done. Here's what it looks like in Walla Walla. Chilly there as well, down to 31 Thursday night. So that's going to be the chilly one. And look for those showers beginning Saturday and Sunday. The good news is, even though the rain's coming, those temperatures warm up above the freezing level at night in the 50s and 60s. So pretty cool. This is what we expect for fall. This feels like fall, correct?
It does, and I'm excited. The colors are really popping.
The colors are popping. Yeah. The leaves are going to start falling. Get out those lawn bags. You're going to need them.
Yeah. Note to self.
Yes.
All right, thanks, Stacey. Still ahead on Apple Valley News now in prime time. Franklin County gets a big, and we mean big, donation from the Gary Foundation. It's something that could really bring out the kid in all of us. That story coming up next.
It's the home makeover sale at Furniture Row, so the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Save on living, dining, and bedroom. Or get 60 months, no interest. The home makeover sale on now at Furniture Row.
First, record inflation slammed middle-class families.
Now, Jared Sessler backs a 30% sales tax on everything you buy.
Everything.
And Sessler wants taxes and fees to make meat and sugar more expensive.
I could never vote for Jared Sessler.
He wants to decide what we should eat.
That hurts our farmers and our families. Jared Sessler's sales tax and fees.
More expensive for you.
And unacceptable for Central Washington.
I'm Dan Newhouse, and I approve this message.
It's a harrowing roller coaster ride that's scarier than Frankenstein at Ledson's Casino Hotel in October, where you could win $1,000 and multiply it into a jack-o'-lantern of loot, like a hair-raising $10,000. Play your favorite games using your Ledson's rewards card to scare up entries in October for our Bills, Thrills, and Chills drawings every Thursday. If your name is called, match 2 multipliers, and you could win a chilling $10 grand. Oh, and it looks like there's room for one more on that roller coaster over there with Frank, Count Dracula, and the Wolfman.
Here in Washington, we love the word "and," like socks and sandals, flannels and beanies, wheat fields and mountains. And now with Fund Hub WA, saving money and helping the climate. Find grants to bring resources and funds to your community. Get incentives to grow your business and transition to clean energy. And discover rebates that will save you money at home and on the go and reduce emissions. Find funding opportunities today at fundhub.wa.gov.
I'm a real wild one. Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Get a 24 Bronco Sport Wild Edition, starting as low as $28,645, or lease for just $369 a month for 36 months.
Dirty tactics and lies have become a staple of American politics. But I'm not a regular politician. I'm Jared Sessler, and I approve this message. Dan Newhouse is spending millions of dollars to spread outright lies about me. President Trump needs an ally in Congress who will join his fight to lower taxes, fix the economy, and restore traditional American values. I've been endorsed by President Trump and the House Freedom Caucus, but more importantly, I'm endorsed by you, the people, who handed me a decisive victory in the August primary. So vote for the conservative we deserve.
Put up with rotten sleep during the incredible value sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend, or get 60 months no interest and free shipping. Kick that rotten sleep to the curb. Only at Denver Mattress.
Well, check this out. The Gary Foundation, aka the Gary Sinise Foundation, in partnership with Amazon, donating new equipment to Franklin County Fire District. GSF and Amazon are providing more than $200,000 in equipment grants all across Washington state. But as our Riley Fitzgerald says, in Franklin County, it's unique. She tells us what this money is going toward.
Franklin County Fire District Number 3 is receiving nearly $43,000 for new fire safety inflatables to enhance fire safety education, according to Senior Manager of Legacy Giving, Cam Feldman.
The idea is to deploy these inflatables to schools, community events, open houses here at the department, and to provide teaching and knowledge to younger generations about fire prevention, but also fire safety.
Franklin County Fire District 3 Chief Harris says the interactive fire safety components line up with what the National Fire Protection Agency advises for kids.
And we'll put them into the entrance of the house and they can walk through, and it's all interactive. There's questions. If they want to read, they can read the fire safety messages on the inside. And we can talk to them about fire safety and all the different, everything from plugging extension cords into the wall for your Xbox and too many cords, to cooking safety, microwave. And then when they come out on the other side of it, there's a big old puffy inflatable smoke. So we teach them stay low, crawl, feel the back of the door, and then when they all come out and we talk about going to their meeting place, then they can go and slide down the fire truck.
Chief Harris hopes those who head through it will keep at least one thing in mind about fire safety. The inflatables are so much fun. Also, it's enough to bring out the inner kid in everyone, even Pasco PD's Lieutenant Thomas Groom.
All right, give me the thumbs up, Tom.
Finding departments in rural areas. The Gary Sinise Foundation, our first responder outreach program, we prioritize rural and volunteer fire departments. And here we are in Franklin County, a rural and volunteer fire department.
This event happening as National First Responders Day is coming up next Monday. In Franklin County, Riley Fitzgerald, Apple Valley News Now.
After the ceremony, the Gary Sinise Foundation served a meal to first responders in the area. The foundation next heads to Spokane for a similar celebration. Turning to business headlines tonight, workers who have been on the job hunt after the Lamb Weston plant closure in Connell took part in a job fair in Pasco today. Columbia Basin College and WorkSource are hosting job fairs for those workers throughout the week. The main goal is to help former employees and others find work after being let go from their jobs. One former employee tells us she was very grateful for the community's support.
This job fair is essential for the people so they can learn what jobs are out there, because a lot of them are older. They don't have the computer skills or the capabilities to look for the jobs online as easy. And a lot of those websites send you to secondary websites and ad websites and scammers, so they get scammed out of good opportunities.
Now, she also says while at the job fair, her interest peaked at a dispatcher job. CBC and WorkSource says there is another job fair planned at WSU Tri-Cities on October 22nd and another fair in Connell on the 25th. Still ahead on Apple Valley News Now in prime time, Stacy and I are going to be talking about this, a little bit of rock and roll, and she'll have your first alert weather forecast. That's all when we come back.
Fall colors. Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
It's the home makeover sale at Furniture Row, so the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Save on living, dining, and bedroom. Or get 60 months no interest. The home makeover sale on now at Furniture Row.
I had surgery as a child that I barely remember. But decades later, the insurance company called that a pre-existing condition and denied me long-term care insurance. Washington State created a long-term care benefit to help millions of people like me afford the care we need. But I-2124 will take that benefit away, leaving millions with no way to get or afford long-term care. If it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody. That's why we all have to vote no on I-2124.
Democrat candidate Maria Beltran led a liberal Seattle group that tried to defund police and allowed chaos and violence to take over the streets. Like Beltran, House candidates Anna Kennedy and Chelsea Demas oppose initiatives that would lower gas prices, end the capital income tax, and allow you to opt out of the expensive long-term care tax. Seattle liberals Maria Beltran, Anna Kennedy, and Chelsea Demas do not share your values and are too extreme for Central Washington.
Swing into Fred's Appliance today and discover unbeatable deals on the largest selection of in-stock Get It Today inventory in our region. Introducing the new Electrolux 700 Series Alpine Green Washer and Dryer, an industry exclusive. 2 ways to sanitize. Remove bacteria and sanitize your way with the Cold Sanitize option, paired with Lysol Laundry Sanitizer, or use the NSF Certified Hot Sanitize setting. The most efficient washer on the market. At Fred's, we sell appliances. Only appliances.
Greetings, Bill Nye here. Reading this is easy, right? Your brain is actually doing something called orthographic processing, recognizing letters and words. It's science. But take a look at Initiative 2117. It's written to confuse you. The mega millionaires behind it don't want you to know it will mean more air pollution, threaten clean water, and put our health at risk. You don't have to be a science guy to know that 2117 is a bad deal for Washington.
Jared Sessler's radical tax plan would make everything cost more.
Sessler backs a 30% sales tax on everything you buy.
And Sessler wants taxes and fees to make meat and other foods even more expensive.
Now we've learned that at the height of the border crisis,
Jared Sessler wanted to defund the Border Patrol.
Higher taxes and a weaker border, that's Jared Sessler.
More expensive for you.
Less safe for all of us.
Unacceptable for Central Washington.
I'm Dan Newhouse, and I approve this message.
Don't put up with rotten sleep during the incredible value sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend, or get 60 months no interest and free shipping. Kick that rotten sleep to the curb, only at Denver Mattress.
Thank you for making Apple Valley News Now's Good Morning Northwest and ABC's Good Morning America the most watched morning news on local TV.
Now that's good.
What's new, what's now, and what's next, plus first alert weather every 10 minutes. Apple Valley News Now, on your side.
To celebrate the Kraken on Apple Valley News Now, we're giving you a chance to win Kraken swag. To enter, click on contests at applevalleynewsnow.com. One person each month wins the swag. From Yakima Federal Savings and Loan, Legends Casino Hotel, and Prosser Memorial Health.
Welcome back, everybody. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inducted its class of 2024 over the weekend.
It's a big one. Now, the inductees span multiple genres such as hip hop and pop, not just rock. They include Cher, Mary J. Blige, Dave Matthews Band, Peter Frampton, Ozzy Osbourne, Kool and the Gang, Foreigner, and A Tribe Called Quest.
Now, this is Osbourne's second induction. He was actually inducted as part of Black Sabbath back in 2006. Now, Stacey,
this is pretty impressive.
Yeah, and I mean, you're a rock and roll DJ.
I pretty much like everybody that was just inducted, and I have listened to all of their music. A Tribe Called Quest, not so sure about.
Yeah,
but I just saw Foreigner at Toyota Center the other night, which was their final concert, by the way. So
and you were saying too, the rock and roll,
the show, right? The whole show, it will air on ABC coming up in January. So if you want to actually see the concert around the show that they put together, it's going to be pretty good stuff. But a couple months away.
Real quick, what do you consider maybe one of the greatest rock and roll songs of all time?
Oh my! Oh, really? Leave that one on me. A little late. I mean, of all the band, I mean, Foreigner was in there, so they had so many. There's not just one. I just love all kinds of music.
I'm gonna go with Kool and the Gang, Celebration.
Kool and the Gang, pretty hard to beat. Yeah, September.
Yeah, another good one. So that's right. Yeah.
Anyway, all right, let's get to our viewer photo of the day. Good stuff. Our buddy Alan, he loves to walk. He gets the best photos early in the morning out there in Richland. So thank you, Alan, for once again sharing your weather photo. If you'd like to see your weather photo on TV, the QR code on the right side of your screen, use your smartphone, or you can simply go to applevalleynewsnow.com. All right, let's give you the bottom line and plan your day out. Those showers are drying up. We still have some breezy winds. Those should start to dissipate tomorrow. Drier and cooler Tuesday through Friday, and then get ready for another wet weekend ahead. Here's what it looks like out the door. It is going to be a cold one, especially in Ellensburg and Yakima tomorrow morning. Those temperatures are on the brisk side, so bundle up. A little bit warmer in Tri-Cities, Hermiston, and Walla Walla, but as you can see, those temperatures don't get very warm at all. Here's what it looks like for the next 7 days. The rainy, wet days are coming next week. Here you go, Walla Walla and Hermiston. So pretty mild with a slight chance of showers on Wednesday, Walla Walla. It seems like the Walla Walla shower should move to the east, but you might see one there.
We'll be watching it. All right, thanks so much for joining us here in Prime Time. Austin Reed with Stacey Lee, hoping your news is good news. We'll be back with another update at 11.
Have a great night.